So a function has three parts. Uh, what is allowed in the domain is one part. What is allowed in the range is another part. Define what the function, well, what does it do? That is, what does, again, what does, let's say, the rule do? So these are the three parts that make up a function. So sometimes people focus on the rule and forget about the domain and the range, but really you need the three parts to have a function. Sometimes we'll let you see the inner workings of the function. What is the rule? Other times you get to see only the pieces, just like we saw in those cosine log examples. We want to finish with the following. Let's evaluate or solve, but this time by looking at a graph. Suppose I want to find f of 4. What do I know? Well, I know again that 4 is part of the domain. So I also know the domain is sitting out here on the x-axis. So if I want to find what f of 4 is, I need to find 4 on the x-axis. And then the graph is a rule that allows me to that connects really things in the range with things in the domain. That's its purpose. That's what a graph does. So I come over here, 4, and I move 90 degrees until I hit the graph. Then I hit 90 degrees towards the vertical axis and read what it says. So f of 4 is a 6. So that's my range, and that's my domain. And again, if I was going to write it as an ordered pair, this would be, I'll write it down here, 6 connects, nope, 4 connects to 6. And as a table, if I were to write this in a table format, then what I would have is 4 connects to 6. Okay. What about f of 9? Let's try to look at this one, f of 9. So just like before, I need to look at my x-axis. And I can see that this graph just ends here. There's no 9. So what is f of 9 is not defined. So there's nothing here. Maybe some people write does not exist for D and E does not exist. Okay, so there's nothing there. How about f of -3? So again, let's go to f of -3. So I'm going to come over here, find -3. -3 is right here. I read across and I see that it's a 0. So f of -3 equals 0. So that connect -3 to 0. And as an ordered pair, -3 connects to 0. And that's a good showing there. All right. Now notice these next ones. I'm now no longer evaluating. I'm asking, hey, I know what their range value is. Give me the domain variable. So now I have to start it's backwards. I have to start the range. So I find 4. 4 is right here, and I read backwards. I go towards the graph. I hit the graph, and I go down, and I see 2. So here I get 2 is what I'm after. So as an ordered pair, this is 2 connects to 4. Sorry, as in the table is 2 to 4. As an ordered pair, 2 connects to 4. What about this next one? Oh, f of x equals -2. So here f of x equals -2. So again, I'll find -2. Now I come over here, -2, and come hit the graph. And I see that f of -2 is -1. But that's not the only case. I come over here and I get another answer here. Well, let's see if I can read this. I got, is that 4 lines? 2, 3. We better read that. Got 1, 2, 3. Now, so only 3 lines, right? 1, 2, 3. Yep, only 3 lines. So this is really 2 and 2/3. So looks like it also is going to be negative 2 and 2/3 or negative 2.666666666. Great, but it's not even that. I continue and I see there's another value. It's like x also equals negative 5. Oh, wait a minute, there's one more value. X equals negative 7. So for example, so this is the case where negative 1 goes to 2. Nope, sorry, negative 1 goes to negative 2. Negative 2.666666 goes to negative 2. Negative 5 goes to negative 2. Negative 7 goes to negative 2. Now it's still a function. You can see it passes the vertical line test. Certainly not a one-to-one function because you look right here and it's not a one-to-one function. And that's why we're having multiple outputs. Still another one, f of x equals 0. So same idea. I'm looking now for, now I'm going to just not write anymore here. F of x equals 0. So find 0, and I see I had 2 values. Notice there's nothing here. It's an open circle. That means there's nothing here. But I move across, and I see that I got negative 3. So x equals negative 3 is a possible value. And also moving across, again, my y value is a 0. I get negative 9. So I find 0 for my range variable and then read till I hit the graph, and I hit it here and I hit it here. I write those 2 values down and I'm done.